Hi guys, good morning. I hope you are all having a wonderful day here. My name is Jenna. I'm a master trainer with Club Pilates in Indy, and I am here today to bring you a free 30-minute mat class. For class today, you'll just need a small ball, something soft, not really like a soccer ball or tennis ball or anything like that, a little bit too hard, but you can use a pillow, so there's that option as well. And honestly, all of these exercises can be done without a ball too. The ball just adds something fun. So we're going to start on the ground. Oh, one more quick thing. Today's class is geared towards an intermediate level, but I will always offer progressions to make things more challenging, but also offer modifications to make things nicer. And I would just encourage you to choose a variation that really works best for your body, especially because no one's watching you. This is just for you. So we're going to start on your back with the ball between your inner thighs. So go ahead and lay down with your arms down by your side. We're just going to start with some breath work. So I want you to inhale through your nose, and you're just like holding the ball still for now. And as you exhale, squeeze the ball with the inner thighs, sink your belly button in towards your spine, and try and lift your pelvic floor up to meet your belly button. Inhale, let the ball go. Exhale, big squeeze. Draw the belly button in, sink the rib cage down, lift the pelvic floor. Inhale, let the legs come back out to parallel. Exhale, big press, draw everything in. Feel how the inner thighs are connected to your pelvic floor and your abdominals. Exhale, press it all out. And inhale, let that go. So the ball, or really a pillow, can be a really great tool to learn how to activate your core muscles, your pelvic floor, your floor, and your inner thighs all together. Strengthening your pelvic floor is a really important part of life in general, but especially important in Pilates because your pelvic floor kind of supports the bottom half of your pelvis. It's basically like the abdominals, but for your pelvis. That's an interesting way to think about it. Let's take one more big exhale. Pause with your knees pressed in on the ball. Make sure your feet are hip socket distance apart. You're going to press through your heels and then slowly peel your spine up off the mat, one vertebrae at a time, pausing when your knees, your hips, and your shoulders are in one straight line, and then softening your chest, like a big sigh, and slowly roll all the way back down. Now, if you have any low back pain or disc issues, I would recommend maintaining a flat back like this, so it's a little bit more of a hinge to help protect your low back. But if you have a healthy spine, then I definitely recommend rolling. Articulating through the spine is really wonderful. It helps to hydrate the discs, and it also improves mobility. Now, as you lift up, pause at the top. Now, give me a squeeze on the ball or pillow. Bring the legs back to parallel, and then lower all the way back down. So we're going to lift up, squeeze, hold, and lower. Here we go. Focus on using your breath. So exhale, lift. Big squeeze on the ball. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Good, we'll do a few more here. You should start to feel a little bit warmer between your core, your glutes, and your hamstrings and the backs of the legs, as well as the inner thighs from the ball. Try and relax your neck and shoulders. I always like to say, let go of what you don't need here, right? Focus on what you do need. So relax your face, relax your jaw and your neck. Try and sink your shoulders to the floor. Starting to feel those legs here. Now pause with your hips lifted. Give me little pulses in on the ball. So squeeze the knees in and in and in. Good. Keep those hips lifted. Focus on squeezing your glutes, only lifting your hips as high as you can keep your low back out of it. Good. For 3 and 2 and 1, and lower your hips all the way down. Now go ahead and grab your ball or pillow, and we're going to place it underneath your right foot. So your left foot's still planted on the floor, right foot is on top of the ball, so it's a little bit unstable. So now your left leg is going to be your primary working leg. Go ahead and lift the hips up and then lower back down. So my right foot is on the ball, which is creating instability. But my left leg is there to do most of the work. Now, keep in mind, though, that the more weight you put into your right leg, the more challenging it's going to feel. So you kind of get to make a choice for yourself here. So try a couple with your weight in your left leg, see what that feels like. But then try a couple with your weight in your right leg, and it should get a lot more challenging. So whichever option you end up going with, just try and stay consistent when we go to the other side. So if you're kind of going back and forth, just make sure you do the same thing. Now pause with your hips lifted. Try and shift a little bit more weight into that right leg. We're going to slide your right leg out and then press down into your heel as you pull it back in. Inhale, slide the leg out. Exhale, press down and pull back. Press it out and back in. So the goal is to keep your pelvis stable. If you're using a pillow, just slide your foot in and out on the pillow. That's okay too. You should start to feel, though, that left glute and hamstring working hard as well as the right. One more here, and then lower your hips all the way down, and we'll switch legs. So slide that ball off to your left foot, right foot's planted on the ground, bridge the hips up, and then lower back down. So try what you did on the other side. Try a few reps where your right leg is your primary mover first. Feel that hamstring and glute on the back of the right thigh. And then try and shift your weight a little bit more into your left foot and feel how differently your body is challenged when you're balancing on a ball. But notice my right foot is still planted firmly on the floor, right? I'm not going anywhere. Good, last one, pause with your hips lifted. Feeling those glutes work. Slide the leg out and pull it back in. Slide it out and back in. So as you move your legs, the most important part is that your pelvis stays still. Use your breath, inhale away, exhale in. You should feel this one primarily in that right leg, which is the stable leg. Last one here. We'll pull the leg all the way in and then lower the hips down. Now I want you to grab your ball or pillow with your hands and you're going to bridge your hips up and then slide the ball or pillow to really right between your butt cheeks. So it's going to go right on your sacrum. If the ball is too high, then you'll feel like an excessive arch in your low back. But if the ball is too low, then you're in kind of this tucked under position. So you really want to find that sweet spot right in the middle so that when you're relaxed, your pelvis is just kind of in this comfortable neutral position, meaning that these hip bones and your pubic bone are relatively flat. So we're going to reach the arms long by your sides and press down into your hands. Float one leg up to tabletop and then the other. So you're balancing here. And part of the challenge is going to be keeping your core tight to help your balance. So from here, we're going to try and maintain this 90-degree angle at the knees. Inhale, tap one foot down, and exhale, lift it up. Inhale, tap the left foot down, and exhale, bring it up. Good. So as you alternate legs here, you want to focus on using your exhale to bring the legs back up to tabletop. Now, the goal is to keep everything stable and still as you move your legs. If you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge, try and reach those arms long by your sides and maybe try like spider fingers where you're hovering the palms of your hands, or maybe balance with one finger. So your core has to do a little bit more here. Good. Now pause and meet me back at the top. Now we're going to lower both legs and then lift both legs. Now, if you can tap your toes to the ground without your rib cage popping up, that's great. But if you feel your low back or you feel like you're not in control to move, work in a range of motion that works for you. So if that means your legs only lower 2 inches, then that's okay. That's where you are today, and that is okay. Inhale down and exhale up. So for this exercise, you're going to feel the abdominals a little bit lower, opposed to when you're lifting the head and chest up, you feel a little bit more in the upper abs. But let's do one more here. Pause those legs. Now extend both legs up to the sky. We're going to drop one leg straight down as you try and pull the other leg closer to your head, and then switch. And switch. Now, the lower your leg goes towards the floor, the more challenging it's going to be to stabilize. But I want you to work really hard to keep your knees straight, so that as your leg comes up, you might even feel a gentle stretch in the hamstring on the back of the leg. Good, we'll do one more. Now we're just going to flex the feet. So same thing, but feet flex. And switch. And switch. Think of sending the energy out through your heels to help increase that stretch. You should also feel your core muscles working hard. Good, we'll do a few more here. Hang tight, guys. Let's do one more on each leg. Meet me back at the top with both feet. Bend the legs, pull one foot down, and then the other. Bridge your hips up, grab that ball out from underneath you, and just kind of let your pelvis settle for a second. If it's feeling like really flat, That's pretty normal. For me, I think it feels really great. So go ahead and hold your ball or pillow in your hands, extend your legs out, and we're going to do a roll up. So we'll exhale, nod your chin towards your chest, and slowly scoop through the belly to roll up one vertebrae at a time. And pause in the seated position. It's a gift. So you guys stay where you are. I'm going to turn to face you so you can maybe see a little bit better. So we're going to sit with your feet just about mat width apart, and then flex your toes back. Ball's going to go on the ground right in front of your torso or pillow, right, whatever you're using. You're going to put your hands on top of the ball or pillow, sit up tall, nod your chin towards your chest, and slowly roll down, rolling the ball away from you as you roll forward, trying to reach the ball or pillow past your feet, and then scoop through your abs and roll back up. Now, if you're using a pillow and your pillow isn't rolling as well as a ball, like a pillow I imagine would, you can set your pillow off to the side and then just have your hands on the floor and do the exact same thing. Yeah. So let me turn to the side so you guys can see what's happening sidewise. So you start this exercise seated tall, head, shoulders stacked right over your hips, nod your chin towards your chest, and then as you roll forward, you're trying to curl yourself into a little ball here. So I'm pulling my belly button back into my spine, sink your shoulders from your ears, and then keep walking the hands away from you. So try and deepen the stretch on the backs of the legs and into the back, and then scoop through the belly and roll it back up one vertebrae at a time so your head's the last thing to come up. One more time here, scoop and roll down. Try and reach your hands past your feet, feel that nice, yummy stretch, and then slowly stack it back up. Good. So from here, we're going to go on to some sideline work. So we're actually just going to set your ball off to the side for a second. We'll come back to it later. If you're using a pillow, you can actually use it as a pillow under your head if that sounds fun too. So I want you to lay on your side. And then stack your shoulders and your pelvis one on top of the other. And I want you to think about reaching your top hip away so you have like this little mouse hole space at your waist. And there might not be a space there. It depends on the shape of your body, and that's okay too. So we're going to extend both legs long, keep the feet flexed, and kick the legs forward so your toes are at the front of the mat. Now from here, float your top foot up off the floor. We're going to flex your foot and kick it forward. And then point your foot and kick it back. Flex and kick forward, and point and kick back. Now, as you move your leg in either direction, your goal is to keep your shoulders and your pelvis perfectly stable so that all the work is coming from that top glute and from your abdominals. Now, we're going to see if we can add a double kick. So you're going to double kick forward and then point your foot, inhale, swing back. Double kick forward, point and swing back. One more time, flex, kick forward, point and swing back. Now pause with your foot just in line with your other foot. You're gonna bend that top leg into tabletop and then press it back out. Inhale to bend in and exhale to press away. Now, if you're really able to maintain stability in your shoulders and your hips, where you're actually going to feel this exercise is in your core as you bend your leg in. I like to imagine that there's something underneath my left heel so that as I go to kick my leg out, I'm like kicking against resistance. Good. Maybe like imagine you're pressing your foot through really thick mud. Oh, work against it. Should start to feel that top glute working a little bit harder. Good. Let's do one more here. Now pause with your leg extended. Reach the foot back behind you. We're going to point your toes this time and draw little circles with your leg back there. Trying to keep your pelvis stable or as stable as you can. So nothing from the waist up is shifted. Little circles, maybe like the size of a salad or a dinner plate. Should start to feel that glute burn on the top of the hip. Now reverse your circles in the opposite direction. To make things nicer, of course, you could bend your bottom leg in, but see if you can fight for it here. 2 and 1 more. Bend that leg in and relax the feet down. Grab your ball. Go ahead and sit yourself up. We're going to tuck your ball at your waist and then lay right back down. with your arm extended. Extend your top leg. We're going to bend your bottom leg as a modification here. And I want you to just keep your right hand on the floor for balance. But you're going to slide that left hand down your thigh as you try and lift up to the left and then lower back down. So we exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. So what you'll feel is that side body or obliques. Specifically, you want to focus on feeling the left obliques just at the front of the waist here, but you also want to feel your back muscles working together. So the front and the back of the body are working to laterally flex or to fold the body to the side. Now, to make things more exciting, you can extend your bottom leg as well, but you can always change your mind and go back to having that top leg, or excuse me, the bottom leg bent. Now let's pause in that lifted position, and we're going to do little pulses. Try and slide the hand down your thigh. Pulse it up and up. Now I'm using my right arm just for a little bit of assistance. I'm trying to focus on doing most of the work with my abs here. For 3 and 2 and 1, and go ahead and relax all the way up and over your ball or pillow. Nice big stretch. You can just kind of relax through here. And then bend both legs. So you're going to be in kind of like the Z-shape position with the legs. So I have my right leg bent so my shin's parallel with the mat, and then my left leg is bent to be parallel with the side of the mat. Or you can sit crisscross applesauce, or some iteration of that. We'll all survive. So go ahead and put the ball or pillow underneath your right hand. Stretch your left arm out to the side. We're going to walk the ball away as you laterally flex away from the left side, so leaning towards the right side. Feel that stretch on the left side of the body here, and then press into the ball to stack back up. Reach it up and over, laterally flex. Should feel more like a stretch. Maybe a little bit of work on that bottom oblique. And stack it back up. And one more time, laterally stretch up and over to the side. Good. Stack it back up. And then let's do the whole dance on the other side. So we'll go backwards this time. So switch your legs. So now your left leg is going to be parallel with the front of the mat, and the right leg will be parallel with the side of the mat. Put your left hand on the floor on your ball or pillow. Reach your right arm to the side. Start by laterally flexing to the side. Feel that nice big side body stretch on the right side, maybe a little bit of work on the left, and stack it back up. You can always just put your hand on the floor if the ball or the pillow are like annoying too. And then stack back up. One more time, laterally flex. Feel the stretch on the right side of the rib cage as you feel the work on the left. Stacking everything up. Take the ball, place it at your waist, and then lay down on your left side. The ball or the pillow is at the waist. We're going to start with the bottom leg bent while you find your balance. Reach that left arm long, right hand's reaching down the thigh. You'll laterally flex up to the right and then lower back down. Exhale, lift, and lower. Your left arm is just going along for the ride here, but you're trying to do most of the work with the right side of the waist. Now for more of a challenge, see if you can extend both legs, which I know is definitely more challenging on your balance. You can have your feet flexed or pointed, but feel those right obliques and back body muscles flexing you to the side. Now let's pause in that lifted position and do little pulses, reaching the hand down towards the feet. Pulse it up and up and up. Remember, I'm just using that left arm for a little bit of support. Good. For 3 and 2 and 1, and go ahead and relax all the way up and over to the side. You can bend that bottom leg, grab your ball out from under you, set it off to the side. We are going to come back to her later. Now get yourself set up for your sideline work. So you want your shoulders stacked, your hips stacked. Think of finding that little mouse hole at your waist, and then extend both legs and flex your feet, bringing your toes to the front of the mat. Lift your top foot up off the floor, flex your foot, kick your heels forward one time, point your foot, and pull it back. Exhale, swing it forward. Inhale, point, and swing back. Now, as you move your leg, again, your goal is to keep your pelvis stable. As you swing the leg forward, think of sending energy out through your heel. And as you reach it back, send it through your toes. Now, let's add our double pulse for it. So we kick, and point and swing back. Kick, and point and swing back. Working in a range of motion that works for you. Try and relax the neck and shoulders. Let's do one more here. Kick it forward 2 times. Swing it back. Now pause with your leg right on top of the bottom. Bend that top leg into tabletop. Feel those obliques working, and then kick that leg back out. Inhale, bend the leg into tabletop so that the hip, the knee, and the foot are in a straight line. Press through that foot to stretch the leg away. Inhale, bend it in, and exhale, press out. Now, as you press through that foot, think of pressing against resistance like you're kicking your foot through thick, thick mud. Obliques are staying tight. The more you can engage your core here, the more you're also going to feel this exercise in that top glute muscle. Good. Let's do one more. We're going to pause with your leg straight. Swing that leg back behind you. Lengthen the toes. Give me little circles. Relax the neck and shoulders. Just felt mine getting tight too. Circles maybe like the size of a dinner plate. Yeah, nothing super huge. Feel that top glute muscle working hard back here. Again, the more you can contract your core, the more you're going to feel this in your tush. Now reverse your circles the other way. Good. Hang in there. Breathe through it. Keep the core pulled in tight for 2 and 1, and relax the leg down. Go ahead and roll into your belly, and we're going to grab your ball or pillow, place your hands on the ball, and then I want you to think of tucking your tail under here. So squeeze your glutes so that you can press your pubic bone into the mat and engage your abs at the same time. I know it's kind of a lot. You're going to press down into the ball or pillow, slide your shoulders away from your ears, try and keep your eyeballs straight down towards the floor, and then lift the chest up into a swan, right? So this is upper back extension. So focus on working from the upper back here, opposed to crunching in your low back. Think of reaching through the crown of the head as you lift up. I like to think of like the top of my head going to the sky, but trying to pull my shoulders down in towards my like back hip pockets. That helps me keep my lats engaged and my shoulders down, which is really important for upper back posture and health. Good. Keep those core muscles pulled in tight too. Let's do one more. We're going to pause in the lifted position. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. See if you can sink the shoulders down a little bit more and make your abs feel a little bit tighter. And then lower all the way down. Now bring the ball in so it's, you're going to keep the ball out in front of you, but hold your left hand on it. So left hand only. Bring your right hand so that the back of the hand is on your forehead. I want you to slide your shoulders down, press into that ball, and lift up halfway. Yeah, so not all the way. Now lift your right elbow up to the sky and try not to twist your left hand. Keep your left hand stable. Lift, 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 and untwist and lower down. Press, lift, and twist, leading with the back of that right elbow, and then lower back down. Now, if the ball or the pillow are too high, you can put your hand on the floor here, but we're trying to get a little bit of assisted rotation. So twisting to the back here is really important for posture as well as mobility. Let's do one more. Pause in that lifted position. Extend the arm long. Try and pulse it up and up and up. I don't know about you guys, but my right or my left tricep is yelling at me too. Good for 3 and 2 and 1. Bend the arm in. De-rotate. Lower down and switch sides. So pass that ball off to your right hand. Bring the back of your left hand to your forehead. Lift halfway. Twist your left elbow to the sky and then lower down. Lift and twist. Big exhale and lower. Do your best to keep your glutes tight and your abs tight here to help protect your back. Good. Let's do one more. Pause in that lifted, twisted position. Extend that left arm long. Pulse it up and up and up. Try not to swing to the side. Good for 3 and 2 and 1. Bend it in and lower everything down. Take your ball with you. Press yourself back into a child's pose stretch. We're going to come back to that guy in just a second. Stretch out that low back. Either stay still or you can gently rock side to side if that feels good. Okay, now we're going to bring the ball between your inner thighs or pillow. So not quite at your knees, a little bit higher. And then hold your hands, or put your hands on the floor so that your hands are shoulder width apart. Spread your fingertips wide. Make sure your knees are under your hips. Curl your toes under here. And then from here, keeping your back flat, keep your core tight. Lift the knees up off the floor and just let them hover. Now holding here, we're gonna squeeze the knees together just like we did on our back. So give me a big squeeze. Pulse it in and in and in. Good, little pulses. Each time you press the knees together, just like we did at the beginning of class, contract your abs. Sorry, I keep swallowing my hair. Your abs and your pelvic floor. Good, for 3 and 2 and 1, and rest the knees down. Good, we're gonna add on. So walk your hands a little bit further away so that your hips are just slightly forward from your knees. You're gonna pop your knees up off the floor and then lift your butt up to the sky, pressing into a downward dog stretch, and then bring the knees back down to hover. So pike your hips up to the sky, and then bring your knees back down. So this is an active stretch. So as you lift your hips up, you should feel a stretch on the backs of your legs, but the whole time your shoulders and your upper body are working. Yeah, the idea is that you're keeping your core contracted and that we're integrating your whole body. One more time, pause with your legs straight, hold it right there. Think of reaching your sits bone up to the sky as you try and drop your chest between your shoulders. Now either walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, whatever works for your body. Pause, let your head fall heavy here for just a second. Gently nod your head yes, and shake your head no, and bend your knees and roll up one vertebrae at a time so your head's the last thing to come up. Okay, so from here we're gonna work on a little bit of balance. So grab the ball, and you're gonna hold the ball in your hand, and I want you, you're gonna squat down, reach the ball forward, and then as you press up, bring your right leg up to tabletop and squeeze the ball with your hands. So we squat down, ball goes forward, we come up, bring the opposite leg to tabletop, squeeze the ball. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, and exhale up. Now, as you alternate legs, if you find that your balance is being like exceptionally challenged, try and step off of your mat. That should make a big difference, especially if your mat's on carpet. It just makes it that much harder. Now pause with your right leg in tabletop. Let's hold the arms out in front of you. We're gonna take the ball overhead and bring it back down. Take it up and back down. So we're just working on your balance here, right? It's not so much about feeling the burn, so much as it is about balance. Balance is a use it or lose it kind of thing, and it unfortunately starts to decline in your 30s, which just feels rude. Good, one more. Now pause with the ball in front of you. Bring your arms close to your chest. Give me a big squeeze on the ball and see if you can close your eyes. So one of my favorite parts, you hang in there, try and keep your eyes closed, about practicing your balance with your eyes closed, is it's kind of like simulating when the lights are off at night, right? You're sleeping, you get up to go to the bathroom, it's dark, and it affects your balance. It's the same idea here. And then let's switch legs. So take that left leg up to tabletop, hold your arms out in front of you first. Oh gosh, she needs balance. Clearly me. Send your arms to the sky and back down. Exhale up and back down. Try and squeeze your right glute. Feel your abs fold in tight here. Good. Now pause with your hands down. Pull your arms back in towards your chest. Give me a squeeze on that ball. Feel your core. See if you can close your eyes. Fight for your balance. Maybe noticing if one side is easier or harder than the other. Let your eyes flutter open. Plant your foot back down. Go ahead and stick the ball or the pillow between your ankles. Inhale. Give me a squeeze on that ball as you bend your knees. Reach your arms up to the sky. Open your arms, nod your chin to your chest, and dive forward one vertebrae at a time, reaching your hands towards your feet. Let your head fall nice and heavy down here at the bottom. Good. Now from here, we're going to bend your knees and straighten. Bend and straighten. One more time, bend and straighten. Now give me a squeeze on the ball. Bend your knees, shift your weight forward into your toes. Try and keep your heels flat. Let your head fall heavy and slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. So that's your head's the very last thing to come up as you stack your spine. Try not to flip your hair up at the top. Inhale, take your arms back to the sky. Exhale, open your arms, clasp your hands behind your back, pull down, open up in the chest and shoulders. Nice big stretch here. Let go of those arms and give yourselves a round of applause. Nice job, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I guess you can set your ball down now. Again, my name is Jenna. I'm a master trainer here in Indianapolis with Club Pilates. We have a couple of locations in the city, one downtown off Mass Ave, another in the North Indy, like Ironworks area, one in Fishers and one in Carmel. The studios are soon to be open, fingers crossed, and we would love to have you guys in for a free introductory class. All of our classes are on specialized equipment. We include mat exercises, but we mostly include them on the pieces of equipment. It's all spring-loaded, very state-of-the-art, super cool. If you're interested, shoot us a comment or a DM below, other way, and we'll be sure to reach out and get you guys set up for a free class when we do open. But if you like this virtual format, we're going to continue teaching virtual classes until things start to feel a little bit normal. So feel free to reach out and we can let you know more about those classes too. Thanks again, you guys. I will see you all on Friday at 11. Have a good one.